What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Fetch AI today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It's Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, okay? That's, I know, but FET, Fetch, Ocean Protocol, whatever. They're all the same now, right? We're going to talk about it. We're going to go over some short-term price predictions, long-term price predictions. Is this the death of FET? Probably not. It's got a lot of life to go, I think, and I think this thing has a chance of being a $100 billion market cap or more by the end of the cycle. And that's a lot, man. That's a lot, being that you're at a $1.9 billion market cap now. Sorry, 1.19, my bad. $100 billion market cap and beyond is definitely attainable. Let's go over those aspects in a second. Actually, I want to look at the all-time history. Let's do this. Yes. Okay, so looking at, and I'm not the all-time history yet, but we're going to get there. Okay, looking at where we are here on a monthly basis, you have found a slightly higher high. This is somewhat of a double top right now, don't get me wrong. But what you've done is you've moved up throughout this bull cycle, and now you're having a very serious correction. Corrections of this magnitude, you can see that you're having a 1, 2, 3 phase correction here. It's very, very common to have a three-legged correction. Elliott wave theory suggests that corrective phases are ABC patterns. A right here, up to down, that's A. This is B, and this is C. 0 is just the starting point, okay, ABC. You're likely coming to an end of this pattern right now. You're probably almost at the end there. I would assume that you have a little bit more to go. It's a pretty bit bearish look to the week right now with that wick to the upside there. Finding resistance at prior areas of support, finding resistance here. You look at your weekly RSI and you are in the oversold area. You look like you're about to hit that oversold zone. Don't get too excited. Just because you're oversold doesn't mean that you're done. But if you can get in there and then get out of there immediately, that's actually a really good look. If you live in there, well, that can cause some trouble. And I mean, you can see how much trouble it caused. You were definitely moving sideways and even lower for months on end. So if you want to avoid that, get in and get out. That's kind of the name of the game. And you probably do just that. I don't assume this is going to be a long-lived drop here. Or maybe I should say it's been long-lived enough. If we take a low here from August 5th to the high here in December 2nd, how much of a pump did you see on this little move here, by the way? Let me see. That's about average for the average coin, yeah. Low to high here, down at your 1414, up to your 1272. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you went down to your golden ratio. Now, how far down would that be? That's about another 31%. Maybe you don't go down that low. I have a hard time. You know, a lot of these coins, if not, I'm just being too optimistic, man. But there's a lot of coins that are showing 30% drops. And I just have a hard time seeing that. It could happen. You know, I think Bitcoin will probably drop another 14% or so from here. So twice that is 28%. I mean, maybe you drop 31%. In all reality, though, regardless of what I think, the fibs to me are suggesting that you would go lower, right, to 1618. And this would probably be your lowest point that you go to. So if you go lower, that's it. You are finding nice support as of now. You have a low right here at prior areas of resistance here, kind of in the middle of this land of turbulence here. That 1618, the bottom white line, found support here, found resistance there, found resistance here, time and time again. Resistance there on a tipping point. It's possible. 50 cents now could be 34, 35 cents, or maybe even 43, 44 cents later, something like that. I wouldn't expect that you go all the way down here, but if you do, I don't think you go below it. I wouldn't think that you go anywhere less than this low. I think that you would probably hit this low, if not actually go through it. That's my assumption, that you would go through it. So where would you go then? Let's put on a smaller fib, maybe a shorter term fib here from a low to a high. that once, you guys see that? You see that there? Hold on, right? I'm going to delete all these white lines so it's a little bit more clear. The 1618 here is the same as the 1618 of this greater fib right here, right? From a low to a high, they overlap each other perfectly. So it's very possible you could go down to 34 to 35 cents. If you do, I would assume, like any crypto that has 30% or more to drop from here, it'd be super fast and very short-lived. You'd be back up at around these prices that you're currently in a matter of days, in a matter of no time at all. So this next week, we have a day and 21 hours left. It could be sometime by the end of this week that you begin dropping more. Maybe next week you find that low and then you recover. It wouldn't surprise me if the same week you hit this, you bounce and you actually close the week green or something like that, right? Unless it's this week. You would probably not bounce from here and then come back up and close this week green if it all happened in the next 2 days, which I also doubt would happen, but I digress. You are getting to that oversold zone. Oftentimes, once you hit that oversold zone, that's kind of whenever you get that final descent down, or the stronger moves down, I should say. Here, you reach your oversold zone right here. You're in the midst of this drop. consolidated for about a month, and then once you got oversold, you saw some very big candles. In fact, probably the biggest candles you've seen on this whole move were at the end there. Same kind of concept on the upside, right? You get some very big candles whenever you're overbought. Maybe not the biggest candles, but I don't know, 45%. This one was 53%. The biggest candle was here. Oh, to be fair, that was at the beginning. That got you into the overbought zone. But you see the most of your move when you're overbought to the upside. Oftentimes with the downside, it's kind of the same thing here. Right, some pretty big candles back here. This was too early to really say. You got out of the oversold zone. Once you got back into it here, big dump, continuing to dump down, right? Oversold area there. That's when you got the big candle. We are at that oversold zone now. It wouldn't surprise me if you saw, like, out of this whole move, 30% drop, 30% drop. Oh man, 30% drop. Maybe you do. Maybe you do drop 30% or more. I don't think you drop more than to 34 cents though. I really don't think that. If it were to happen, you could, I suppose, go down to 26 cents, but what, you're telling me this thing's going to drop 50%? I don't think so. Not from here. I don't think so, man. That doesn't make sense to me. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. If it does, I'm going to buy some of this. That's for damn sure, man. At a $500 million market cap, $700 million market cap, that'd be phenomenal. But enough talk about the downside, right? Actually, maybe a little bit more. Let's look at the daily time frame and confirm this. Yeah, you have higher highs in the RSI, higher highs here, lower highs here. That's hidden bearish divergence, looking like you want to go down, right? Probably do. 4-hour time frame, getting pretty bearish. You just got to the oversold zone, and we just kind of explained why that's a bearish thing, right? Here, when you just got overbought, was that immediately bearish? No, you kept growing, right? So here, we're just getting oversold. Are you done going lower? No, you probably go lower. Now let's talk about the upside, okay? The upside to this thing. I do genuinely think that this could see a $100 billion or more market cap by the end of the cycle. I really do. I think that's a very strong possibility. At the current market cap, that's not quite 100x. What would that be? $100x would be 120 billion. So what would it be, like a 90x? Something like that. I don't know. For $100 billion, give or take, 85, 90x, something like that. If I'm doing my math right, I might not be doing my math right. I don't know. I don't care though. But crazy growth, and we'll get to that in a second. High to low on this fib, the last bull cycle high to the bear market low here. If we were to grow, and I think we will grow to new all-time highs, it's very common for coins in their next cycles when they do grow to see the 1618 to the 2272. Now let's just see if that falls in the context of a 100x or something around there, right? The 1618, okay, it's a 52x, 53x. That's fine. You could absolutely see that. You could stop there, right? A 53x from here would give you, why can't I do my math right now? That'd be like a $60 billion market cap, 63 something like that, $billion market cap. That's very possible, very attainable to have. If you were to do this, it's a little bit more than 100 billion, but I still think you could see 77, maybe even you do reach up to $100 in price by the end of the cycle. Could you see $345? Probably not. We're talking about some crazy stuff there, right? Multi-hundred, almost like $1 trillion market cap. I don't see that happening. So 2272, no sir, not for you. Maybe instead we should focus on the 1886-200 area as your maximum potential. And again, that's reaching. When I say maximum potential, do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying that that's where you're going to go. People hear the high prices and they're like, oh my God, he says it's going to go to $120. It could go to $100. It's at 50 cents now. Sell the house. That's not what I'm saying, okay? Sell it. No, that's not what I'm saying. $120, $77. It's very possible you could go in this range. I accept it as a maximum. Let's call it the land of the moon boys, right? That's your moon boy land right there. And sometimes, oh so rarely, we do get moon mission, moon launches. But if I really had to guess, I don't think that you go there. So 100x might actually be out of the picture, in which case I'm pretty confident. I actually feel very good about this $27 area, right? It's not as much as 100x, don't get me wrong, but you can wipe away your tears with money with $100 bills, because you're still going to get a 54x, 54.5x from the current price, let alone if and when it drops lower, and I think that it will. If you do drop down to like 34 cents or something like that, I mean, that turns it into like a 78, 79x potential. And FET definitely has a lot of potential, you guys. The minimum target, which I doubt you stop there, that's a 14x, 15x. I don't think that you'd stop there. The average crypto from here is expected to do something about like a 25 to a 30x from the current price by the end of the cycle. And I've done analysis on that. I'm not going to do it here, but just trust me when I tell you that's what I expect the average altcoin to do, 25 to 30x. I don't think that this thing is an underperformer. it's been hurt with the merge and there's all this kind of stuff, whatever, but I think it's shaped up. There's a lot of positive narratives going on around with Fetch AI, Artificial Superintelligence Alliance. We'll see. And the tokenomics aren't bad. We'll see. The project's not bad. AI itself is building. The 1 for 1 for, what's very common about the 1 for 1 for is that you don't stop right at it. But if you were to stop right at it, that's about the average move for the average altcoin. So there's no shame there from the current price. It's very common to go right above it, just above it, and that's about a 30-31x. I could see that happening. So I really do I like this 1250 to 2750 area. I like that area a lot. Make no mistake though, if you happen to get above basically like 28 bucks, if you happen to close above there on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, you have a shot, man. You have a real shot of going up to 100 bucks. I wouldn't be surprised if you fell just shy of 100 bucks, or maybe you went just above it. But then we're talking about like $100 billion, $150 billion, multi-$100 billion market caps at that $100 level, which would just be nuts. But it's attainable. If you don't think it's possible, the only people that don't, I'll tell you what, actually, maybe I won't say about the only people that don't. I'll say the only people that do. The only people that do catch a 100x are the people that do think it's possible. That can hurt you, don't get me wrong. Don't just think that because you think something's possible that it has to happen. But I'm just saying, if you don't think it's possible, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And this thing definitely has a shot, at the very least, at least accept that, to see prices around, if not even above, $100 by the end of the cycle. If I had to guess, if I had to give it my vote of approval, what I would bet on, I think 27.5. There's a reason why that circle's right there. I think that's where you go by the end of the cycle. Little bit lower first. From the current price of 50 cents, that'd be about a 53, 55x, something like that, right? If we happen to go down to those areas that we were talking about before, which, let's see, what was that? Where was it? Oh, right. It was this 1618 here, sorry. Low to high. Yeah, right in that area. Then that 53x turns into a 79x, almost an 80x. And boo-hoo if it doesn't get there. Maybe stop a little bit lower and you still get that 50x from these lower prices still. Or maybe it goes to the 1272 and then you're getting a 20-something x. But again, then you're underperforming the average coin, and I don't think this thing's an underperformer. I think it's just had some mishaps happen, and it's going to come back stronger than ever. We're just waiting on that to happen, okay? I've got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you do, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye.